Hey guys, what is up? This is Matthew Davis Me. Once again, welcome back to another movie review, part of my October horror movie marathon. Next up, I'm going to be reviewing Trick or Treat. Now, Trick or Treat is an anthology horror film. If you combined elements of Halloween and Creepshow together, then I think you would get this. Only it's not nearly as long as either one of those films. But in this film, we follow 4 different stories. One story involves his father burying a kid in a backyard after he poisons him. Another one involves a group of kids going to discover a bus that's been broken down by a crazy guy. And then another one involves this woman who wants to lose her virginity, only things go a little bit different. And another one involves this old man who gets terrorized by this guy right here, also known as Sam. Or not guy, little guy, pretty much. And this was from directorial debut Michael Dougherty. Was this his directorial debut? I don't know. But he also went on to directing a Christmas horror film called Krampus. Now, there was a lot to love about this film, okay? And I feel like to this day, there still is a lot to love. I feel like this is one of the best horror films to watch during the Halloween season, given how it's called Trick or Treat. Yeah, it was basically made for Halloween, just like how Halloween was made for Halloween. Now, when this movie was released, it was released straight to video, and I have no idea why, given how it was made by a big company. You know, Warner Brothers was behind the whole thing. I did rewatch this film, only I did not rewatch this film with this Blu-ray. No, I saw this in a theater. That's right, when I went to go see Amsterdam, I also saw a re-release of Trick or Treat. And that's probably the first time it was ever released in the theater, because it wasn't released in theaters, and I don't know why, because I kind of find it to be criminal, because this, I feel like, would have been a lot of fun at a theater, just being with your friends, just watching this film in a theater, in darkness. It just would have been so much fun if it was released in theaters at the time. I think it would have made so much money. But hey, it was nice to see a theatrical release of this, and I feel like it was really worth it. But yeah, Trick or Treat, I still think is a great horror anthology film. Probably my favorite horror anthology film outside of Creepshow. There's just something about this film that I just liked a little bit more than Creepshow. It's far shorter, and it goes right to the point, and it never drags on with its 4 stories. And each one of those stories I thought was very interesting. What's really unique about those stories is that they all tie in together somehow. Some of them start off earlier, some of them start off later. It goes back and forth once in a while, which might be bothersome for some people, but yeah, what I really like most about this movie is that the movie, sometimes scenes aren't always what you think they are. They always end up being a lot more unpredictable, especially during your first viewing. It's very unique, and it does everything it can to try and fool you. And that's one thing while watching this movie. There are times where it was a lot more different than I originally imagined it than the first time I watched it, because I just enjoyed it at the time for just being a fun anthology horror film, but it was a lot more than just an anthology horror film. It actually combines its stories together to make it completely non-separate from the other stories. And that's what makes this film, in my opinion, the most unique out of the anthology horror genre. I mean, we also had other films like ABCs of Death, VHS, and a bunch of other ones too. This one I just found to be the most entertaining, and it's a very well-paced movie too. The opening sequence alone gives you exactly what to expect. And of course, the show stealer out of this whole thing is Sam, of course, the killer kid who's trick-or-treating. One thing I will say is that he's not in the movie that much, and that's a real shame. He's only in 15% of the movie, though once in a while he'll show up, just being there just to, creep viewers out. But he doesn't fully show up until the very, very last one. Like I mentioned before, with he's terrorizing this, or supposedly terrorizing this old guy. And the old guy actually has a purpose in the movie. He's not just some random old guy. If I explain more, I'm already spoiling quite a bit. I kind of did spoil the stories, but I just kind of would have liked it more if Sam was in the movie just a bit more. But that's okay, because the last story is where he truly shows up. And like I said before, it's only an hour and 20 minutes, so it's not a super long one. So, I mean, the stories I thought were really well paced, and I thought they were really, really entertaining. My favorite one definitely has to be the last one, though. I guess my least favorite one, I don't know, would have to be the one with the teen girls. I mean, it wasn't a bad story. All the stories I thought were really good. It's just, I don't know, I guess, whatever. I like all the stories. And in the end, guys, Trick or Treat, I still think is worth watching to this day. In fact, I think there's supposed to be a sequel, like a sequel was greenlit. If that's the case, then I'm all on board. As long as they bring Sam back, then yeah, I'm definitely going to be going to it. And I hope it's theatrical too. But yeah, Trick or Treat, it's a very well made anthology horror film that really should have gone theatrical because it really looks theatrical. It doesn't look straight to video. It's very haunting. It manages to be both fun and creepy at the same time. And there are some very unpredictable moments during your first viewing. And it's just a horror film that is perfect for the Halloween season, given how it's called Trick or Treat. And it's one that I definitely recommend for anyone out there who's a big fan of the Halloween season, because this, along with at least the first Halloween and the requel to Halloween, I think are definitely worth watching during the Halloween season. And it's the perfect anthology film for any horror fan out there. Thank you guys so much for watching, and there's still more to be had in this Halloween season, so yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Word out.